Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today for what is video number 2 of 2. If you didn't catch the unprecedented, unexpected video of earlier on where I go into the whole Mudryk doping scandal saga, you can go and check it out right here if you haven't seen it already and you've been living in a cave. Make sure you come out of that cave and have a butcher's. Watch it and see what I've got to say. And we're getting more news now. Bits and pieces, but we're getting more. The big bulk of it was there. So make sure you're going to have a look over there and make sure to keep up to date with all the uploads as they do come, as well as all the socials. Links are in the description and on screen right now. Make sure you're giving us a follow to keep up to date with all things myself and Younes Talks Football. Much appreciated. Tomorrow is the preview for Chelsea versus Ireland's finest, Shamrock Rovers. So make sure you're here for that. Let's get cracking. Mudryk in the midst of this doping scandal, and whether he has taken something or he's not taken something, or what's going to happen now. Is he going to get banned? He's already suspended provisionally, because that's normal. That is what all footballing bodies would do, is they would then wait for evidence to present itself, and if he's innocent, they'll let him off. If he's not innocent, then they'll punish him. So that's what's going to happen. We are, as I've said in that video, waiting for sample B to present itself. And I have to shout out as well Joey Knight, who has a big Chelsea channel now and is familiar with the boxing world because he boxes himself. And shout out to Joey. I've done a fantastic video earlier on giving us some insight as to how the whole doping and testing and all of that works, and even gave us examples of some substances that we wouldn't know about because, like I said, he's from a boxing background, so he's very familiar, and he gave a very well detailed video on the possibilities of this process with Mudryk now and where it might head. So I do suggest you go and have a look on his channel, Joey Knight Podcast. Shout out to you, Joey, and enjoy Saudi? Yeah, enjoy Saudi for the Fury Usyk fight as he's heading out there. Now, we're waiting for sample B. I was going to say substance B. No more substances, please. No more. We're waiting for sample B of that urine test, and we are expecting it to come back positive like sample A. It's like I mentioned in the first video earlier. It's very, very, very rare. We're talking maybe 1 in 100 or maybe more, where sample B differs from sample A, right? So we're waiting for that. It's going to come back. I reckon in the next couple of days or so, we'll get an answer. And then that will basically determine Mudryk's fate. Now, it seems like Mudryk has already made preparations. And he probably knows where this is heading. And this is why. Here's Matt Law. Mudryk has hired the law firm responsible for helping Paul Pogba to have his doping ban reduced from 4 years to 18 months. And that came this evening, or tonight, with Matt Law and The Telegraph. I think that tells you where things are heading. You don't need Einstein or rocket scientists to work this one out, right? Like I said, it's very, very, very rare. On the off chance that sample B is different from sample A, then Mudryk will be let off the hook. And it will be deemed as maybe a false reading or contamination or whatever. Now, if it comes back the same, which it more likely will, Mudryk will have to prove his case. And not prove his case that he didn't have it, because whether he comes out or not and says, I didn't mean it, or I didn't know, or I didn't take it, it must have been someone that gave it to me, they're not going to listen to any of that. It's in the rules, and it states, not knowing if you took something doesn't constitute you getting let off. It doesn't. You will face punishment because it's in your body. End of story. The thing is that at this level, we have to be wise and we have to be logical here. Top-end Premier League footballer, not even that, top-end athlete. You are surrounded by experts, specialists, the world's finest medical teams. You need to know what's going into your body. And truth of the matter is this. Joey put out a fantastic example about Dylan White in the boxing world, who was suspended after they found a substance in a test that he took. But they done the investigation and they found that a pre-workout drink, right, had been contaminated. And Dylan White didn't know and he wasn't aware, but he did drink it and it was in his body and he got punished. It was reduced. His ban was reduced, right, substantially because of the circumstances, but he still served a ban. And this is where the truth of the matter is this. We understand that, you know, at the highest level, you do want to push yourself and you want to try and have everything that you can possibly have that is legal in order to get your performance to the maximum level that you can push yourself to. But I always stick to this, yeah? I always stick to this. To play at that level, you can still play at that level and compete and be in fine condition and keep everything 100% natural. You know, if you're looking for extra protein, drink 10 eggs. Do you know what I mean? You ain't gonna find anything in eggs. Do you know, it's keep it natural. Eat loads of meat. Get your protein in. Eat fish. Keep everything as natural as you can. When you're performing at the highest level, when you've got to be careful of every single little thing that you ingest, it's not like the average guy that goes to the gym that can have some pre-workout, that can go and have some HGH, that can go and up his testosterone a bit. Yeah, because it's fine, you know, it just allows me to get a little bit more size, a little bit more filling. All various protein shakes or whatnot. And you got to source and really trust exactly what you're drinking, because there's some protein shakes and then there's some protein shakes. You got to be careful. Because you never know what can be found in some of them. You have to be careful. For the average normal guy like yourself or me, or like yourself or me, right? It's not a problem. I would still say keep it natural just for health purposes, but it's not really a problem. But at that level, you have to be careful of every single thing that goes into your body. This is why the rules are set the way they are. You don't have an excuse. End of story. So he's already making preparations to get a legal team assembled that will help reduce the ban. It looks like he's already come to accept his fate, that there will be a ban. We're just going to have to try and reduce this as much as possible. And to be fair to him, yes, because even if he didn't know what he was having, and he's in a situation now where I'm sure right now Mykhailo Mudryk is panic stations galore. He is probably crapping himself right now, right? And yeah, rightfully so. But it makes you feel bad for the guy. Like for someone like Mudryk, his career is on the line, you know? So we have to, at least on that level, cut him some slack until we get an official investigation, confirmation of exactly what went down, and then we can make full-on judgment. Right now, though, he is probably crapping it and making all the possible preparations that need to be made. If he genuinely did not know, he must feel terrible right now. If he genuinely did not know and he trusted his team and he was naive. It's happened to other sports people before, and it will continue to happen to those that don't pay too much attention. It's as simple as that. So he's making prep. Pogba went through this. We saw the possible 4-year ban, and then there was talk about that being reduced to 2, and then it was turned to 18 months, a year and a half. Mudryk, who is 24 years old right now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to look, he is 24, right? 23, okay. It's not the end of the world. He's a lucky boy if it were to happen that it's come now and not later. Because if it comes at 26 or 27, game over. Your career at the highest level is done. You're going to have to start looking for championship slots, or, I don't know, a place in Ligue 2, or, I don't know, Bundesliga 2, or... But at this age, as long as you keep training and you just try and keep yourself at the highest level privately, you can still do something at 25, right? So The other issue with this is that this process could drag out a little bit, which could waste time for him. This is another problem. You don't want to waste time. Time is not on his side. So we'll wait and see. But Pogba, he managed to get himself reduced to 18 months. Mudryk is looking like he's making the same preparation as we await the confirmation of sample B. So we will wait and see. And in all fairness, like I said in video number 1, it is innocent until proven guilty. For what it's worth right now, I hope he's okay. Right? I hope he's okay. So, that's that. That's Mudryk. Let me know your thoughts. We will continue to talk about it. I'm sure in the coming days it will be a big topic. So that's that. Now, the other big story of the night, which we're going to wrap the video on, is Marcus Rashford. Step forward. Marcus Rashford has spoken. Here's the latest. Marcus Rashford, the last 72 hours. On Sunday, he was dropped for the derby. On Monday, he was sent home from training with a high temperature, allegedly. On Tuesday, today, he's dropped a bombshell interview with Henry Winter. And for those that don't know Henry Winter, there we are. Football writer and broadcaster, right? Very well known in the football world, has been for decades. This is what Marcus Rashford has said. Just a portion. He said a lot more, but this is the main bit. For me, personally, I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps, he told Henry Winter. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Man United. That's me. I will always be a Red. You go and you look at this whole interview, he has basically said, kudos, peace out, I'm gone. So, did he have a high temperature yesterday? In the same way Mudryk was ill. Marcus Rashford is going to be leaving Manchester United, right? And I think for him, this is a good thing. He needs something fresh and he needs something new. And it's not working at United. It hasn't for a while. Even though he'll come in clutch once or twice here and there, not as much as he used to. But his career has well and truly stagnated. This is why recently I compared him to Theo Walcott. Because Theo Walcott faced the same. Theo Walcott was on a certain route and then it just stopped and just plateaued. And then we never saw him improve ever again. Rashford, at 27 years old, who should be at the prime of his career right now, is not playing like he's at the prime of his career. It's almost like his prime was 5 years ago. It's insane how that's happened. Did he peak too early? There's this whole debate with English players. There's this whole thing about young players coming through and then they peak and then they get destroyed and then you don't see them again after 26 years old. It's a crazy phenomenon that's going on with English players. It's mad. Maybe that's an English problem. I don't know. But with Rashford, he does need a change. And I think that would help him. And I think Manchester United do need to let him go. Because it will allow players to come through, like the ones that are coming through right now, like a Garnacho, like, Amad Diallo. These are players that you're looking at and you're going, whoa, okay, maybe this guy could explode to something astronomical. You're going to need Rashford to step out the way for that to happen. At the same time, the money he's on, he's not playing like he's on that money. That's just the truth. So he is a high earner. And it's like I said yesterday, these clubs now, Man United included, I think are the first example that are going to start taking after the same path that Chelsea have done for the last few years with this new ownership. Which it seems to be a trend everywhere now that's spreading. You're looking at all the signs and all the whispers and what other clubs are looking to start doing, and it just seems like it's a photocopy. They're all trying to get rid of their highest earners, unless if their highest earners or a few of them are killing it right now and they are their main players and you can't move them, then fair enough, of course. You don't get rid of your core. But everyone else, no. Try and bring the wage bills down. FFP is in play, and look at the talents that are scattered that we can go after, that we can scout after, and try and get them on low salaries, and maybe we can go from there. And I think all clubs are trying to balance themselves now financially, that they have to entertain this sort of way, which is why now we look, were Chelsea ahead of the curve? We'll see. At the moment, I have to be honest, it looks like in a lot of the aspects that I've just mentioned, yeah, they were. And then it's about getting the players correct. Now, that's a different story for a different day. Not all clubs are going to get it 100% right, Chelsea included. But in this regard, yeah, Man United, who right now are in a position where they can let go of Rashford and they'll be okay. It's like I mentioned, they've got Garnacho, they've got Amad Diallo, who a lot of seems like the club the fans like, he gets on well, he's a talent. And they've already made certain signings in their striker position with Højlund and with Xerxes. Maybe they're all right for now. Rashford's not needed. So, save money. That's going to be the prime thing for Manchester United. That's just the truth. So for United and for Rashford, absolutely best if he goes. And I will say this. I will say it will be best for Rashford to leave England. Leave England. Because if he goes to another Premier League team, for example, again, I bring back Theo Walcott. Rashford could end up being one of those players that are playing at Everton. You know? Or, I don't know, Crystal Palace. With all due respect, they're playing well. But you get the gist. Just Rashford needs to go off and try and get into a PSG or a Juventus or a Milan or Bayern Munich. I don't know, somewhere on that sort of stature in another country where there won't be exceptional pressure like there is in the Premier League. Let him find his feet, let him play his football, and let him try and build himself back up again. That is what I think needs to happen, which is why I'm going to end by saying, because I know a lot of you are going to ask, and you're going to be in the comments, and I've already addressed it on socials, and I've said, Rashford to Chelsea? No, thank you. No, thank you. And you know me, I wouldn't mind having some experience come into the team. Rashford, my belief, I think he's stagnated. I think what we have seen, we won't get a better Rashford. Not in the Premier League anyway. He goes elsewhere, maybe. Maybe he might find his feet. Maybe he might blow up somewhere else. No problem. And then build himself back up again. In a league that is slightly easier, slightly less paced, slightly less physical, I reckon he can find himself. Take him to Italy, for example. I think Rashford would cook. But in England right now, I just think he's on a very steady but sure decline. To Chelsea, no thank you. And at least if he was on 100k a week, what was he on? 250, 280 a week or something like that? No. No thank you. Simple as that. So, let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. What do you think on this whole Rashford situation? And what do you think on Mudryk as well? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Much appreciated. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, as well as don't forget to check out all the socials as they are in the description and they are on screen for you guys right now. All the channel socials and the personal socials, all of them are in the description. Thank you all so much. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video, or maybe two. I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.